Hey there, everybody. I'm Jennifer Angel. Welcome to the horoscope for the month of September. Okay, so I'm going to go through some of the planetary interactions, and then I'm going to go on and do report for sign. Okay, so I haven't written this out. I'm just going to end as a video and I'll be up on a podcast. So I'm just using I'm just going to ad lib, from my personal form chart that I have. All right, so let's see what's going on. So right at the beginning on the 3rd, Venus is going to come out of retrograde. Finally, it's still in Leo for the whole retrograde period. Before, during, and now after it's been in a Leo. Sometimes the retrograde it can go back into another sign, but not the case in here. So this is really, I love this because Venus in Leo is all about abundance and expansion. It's big. You know, when you think of Leo, it's ruled by the sun, and it's a big vibrational energy. So and Venus being the planet of abundance, that brings in love and money, and so it's a really it's heads it up, starts the month off to be really good. Okay, really positive, a lot of energy. So we like that very much. At the same time, on the 4th, Jupiter is going to go into its retrograde transit. Jupiter is still in Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. It's very much a sort of Venus, Jupiter, Sun type energy connection here. And when you get these three together, it's like the powerful manifestation, abundance, and attraction sort of formula. Okay, so once again, right at the start, this is on the 4th that Jupiter's going retrograde. So it's a very good, it sets the month off. We want to sort of to capitalize in this energy. As always, you want to just be, number one, positive. Number two, be mindful of where your mindset is. Be mindful if you're wanting to attract more money. What's your money story? What are you saying to yourself? You want to attract more love? What's your love story? What are you saying to yourself? Okay, and be mindful of that, and then be ready to shift, make pivot and change that and shift to something more positive, something that you want, that's on your goals. If you haven't written your goals, it's in your heart. So get it down on paper. Okay. So, and at the same time, Mercury, which is just gone into retrograde. There's always something coming and going in retrograde, right? It always makes it interesting. And so Mercury is going to trine with Jupiter. Now, trine is what's called a soft aspect. It's an easygoing aspect. It's like, meant to be, or path of this least resistance. It's that energy of just allowing things to come in, not like getting out there and pushing so hard that, excuse me, you have that desperate sort of, energy and controlling energy. It's just like, okay, this is what I want, and I just allow it. Some of those major things that are happening in my life have happened when I just simply let them go, and then all of a sudden it just drops in. It's quite amazing. I always think that's because I'm a Capricorn, and the earth signs and the fixed signs, we like to hold on to things so tightly nothing else can get in. Anyway, back to Mercury and Jupiter. So Mercury is going to trine with Jupiter. Mercury is the planet of communication, education, creativity. Jupiter is a benefit planet, abundance, expansion, growth. It's going to trine with Jupiter twice because it's retrograde now, so it's going back, or the illusion of going back. And I do have a whole video up on the Mercury retrograde. Excuse me. Okay, I won't start again because keep on going. And so when it comes out of retrograde, which is, let's have a look, around the 15th, 16th, depending on where you are in the world, it's going to like then cross back over Jupiter again and have a trine with it again, and that's around the 25th. And I'm saying around because I've got Greenwich time here on this astro plotting sheet that I do, and which is different, so different to US often, so it's like 24, 25. So that's like really interesting. I think, wow, we get a second go at that, and depending on where that sits in your personal chart today, I'm going to just go through briefly, just a quick highlight for each sign, for your sun sign. But of course, the real power is where it sits in your chart. This chart reading really is my specialty. I love it. I'm particularly good at it. I've had people say, I've never had a chart reading like this before. I got so much out of it. So it really gives you clarity. And for me, a chart reading really just helps you be you, because I think one of the greatest gifts in the world is the ability to know ourselves, and not just know ourselves, but to love ourselves. Yeah, I know that's an old cliche, but, to really love yourself. I guess it's important to me because when I was younger, and particularly when I was married, I didn't really know who I was, and I was trying to be something that my husband wanted me to be. And, I often think, well, if I'd known, everything that I know now, maybe that could have worked out, but, it didn't. And part of that was because I just didn't really know who I was, and I was trying to be something that I wasn't. And so the more that you can be yourself and love and like and respect yourself, and that's what you'll attract. You'll when you're trying to be someone else, you're attracting a false vibratory energy from people, because they're not going to be attracted to you, the real you, the most amazing, awesome you. Okay. And that's what astrology does for me. I think that's one of the greatest gifts of astrology. Anyway, enough about that. But if you've never had a reading, go onto the site jenniferangel.com, on to private sessions, and they're all listed there. Okay. All right, so moving on now. All right, so we talked about the trines being an easy passage. We talked about, Jupiter being abundance, expansion, and the sun, like the most luckiest sort of favorable aspect, that connection between planets that there is between the sun and Jupiter. Personally, I like Venus and Jupiter, but, I'm a sucker for romance, what can I say, and money. In this case, the sun and Jupiter are going to trine around the 8th, 7th to 8th. And this is really, really very positive. So this whole month you see what's happening, this whole month is panning out to just, get set, get your goals, put that positive energy out there. Think about what you want, not what you don't want, okay? Make the changes there. Get yourself a mentor, get yourself an accountability partner. Really, really positive. And that, as we go through the month, and the 22nd, 23rd, the sun will make its move into Libra. Yay. Okay, so who doesn't love Libra? Okay, ruled by Venus. So we got the sun Venus sort of energy connection there. And now let's have a look at the moon. So the new moon is like the 15th. I'm just going to have a look up in my local book so we can see when the actual new moon is in. Here it is on the 14th in US. Okay. So this new moon is in Virgo. For the new moon, it's the moon and the sun together, aspected, and it's in a conjunction. And so you've got, you know, conjunction is when they're together at the same degree. So it's like you've got the energy intensifying with the two, you know, vibratory energies of the sun and the moon. And that's what makes the new moon and the full moon more powerful, because that conjunction and the opposition, when the full moon, you've got the sun and the moon opposite, they're what's called like trigger points, because they're more intensified energy. All right. So this new moon in Virgo is like great just to get organized, get detailed. It's like starting something new. Be mindful that, you know, Mercury is retrograde through till around the 15th, the 16th. And so actually do the work on something new is great in a Mercury retrograde. To initiate and launch something, if you can, wait until after, you know, wait until that third week of the month. I'm launching something, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so I don't like to launch things in Mercury retrograde personally. And then the full moon, which is right at the end of the month, which is in, let's see the exact date of that. And so the full moon, let's see, here it is here on the 29th. Okay, Friday, the 29th. So it's going to be in Aries. So the full moon in Aries can be like it can be really intense, because it means the sun is opposite in Libra and the moon is in Aries. Now, Aries is a somewhat reactive energy. It's great. It's like action oriented. It likes to get things done. It's quick thinking, but it's impulsive as well. And although that can be a great quality, when it's to do with the moon, it's about emotions, and it's intensified emotions. So you want to just take a leaf out of the Libra book where the sun is, take a step back, think things through, quickly weigh out the pros and cons. Don't forget to ask yourself, how does it feel? All right. And then, you know, go through it. All right. Okay. So let's go on to, you know, so just to finish that off, I mean, there are other aspects, of course, but I tried just to capitalize on the what I feel is the main ones. And I think this is going to be a great month. Okay, it's there's an abundance of Venus, Sun, Jupiter energy, which is like a recipe for success, a recipe for things to go well. The way to capitalize on it, as I said, is to just be positive, notice the past, notice stuff that's coming up, deal with it, release it, gain closure, and switch your focus to the present and where you want to go. And that's the manifestation formula, okay? All right, so let's have a look now, go on and have a look what's going on in each of the signs. So Aries, as you said, you know, the full moon is in your sign. So the full moon is a trigger point. It's like a time for change. And it really just helps you just to let go of things. You know, notice what's going on and just let it go. The new moon is in your area of productivity. So the more that you can start systems this month would be, you know, very good. So the more systems and routines that you can start, because, you know, the other manifestation formula to make changes is repetition, and systems and formulas and rituals and routines help you do just that. Okay. Monetary matters, you know, don't fall into past lessons. If something looks like it's going down the same track as the past, you know, make a conscious decision about it. You may decide that, yeah, that's what I want to do, but make sure you make a conscious decision about it. Okay. All right, so Taurus, there's a lot going on around your home and family area, Taurus. Venus is going to come out of its retrograde, so that is going to help things. Hopefully during this last month, you've come to terms with some things there, because you know you can't change people, right? I mean, believe me, I'm a Capricorn. I have tried it and it doesn't work. Okay, people can change if they want to change. So you know, you can't push. And as much as you may think, well, if they did this, it would be better for them, you know, quite frankly, it's not your decision to make. Okay, you can just give suggestions and then let it go. All right, but there is like some movement and some realizations and things, you know, coming to a head in that area, which is going to just open the path for better relations, better situation going on. In your sign, we also have Jupiter going retrograde. So this is going to help you catch up a little bit. So things that have happened that perhaps you just haven't quite got into process, you haven't really got locked down and have fallen to the bottom of the pile, then this is really a time for you to do that, just to get more information and make decisions about that, so you can put it behind you and you move forward. All right, so Gemini, let's move on to Gemini. So there's things going on around your home, home, yes, but also around your social life and situation. So, you know, I mean, sometimes we just need to let go of people and just move on. It doesn't mean to say that you never speak to them again. It just means to say that, you know what, they've changed, you've changed. It's time to move on. It's time to maybe just put a little bit of space between you and them. So the full moon really can bring things to a head like that. This is a month for you really to get in touch with your intuition. I mean, if you've been working on getting in touch with your intuition for a while, good for you. If you haven't, then meditation is really one of the best ways to do this. Get yourself a morning routine and try to spend some time alone, which is one of Gemini's challenges, right? Because you know, you just love people, you love to meet new people, you love to do new things, and so but it keeps your attention sort of out there all the time. So you want to like find something, even if you go for a walk by yourself, just to bring your focus and your attention back to you. All right, things are going on around your creativity as well. If you've got something going on at work, a creative venture, well, with Venus coming out of retrograde, that can work out for you now. So I hope so. All right, keep a positive attitude. There does seem to be some things going on around your home and family as well. And if you need to say something that you've been thinking about, then keep in mind it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. All right, but if you get an opportunity to have a deep and meaningful and say something, then take it, don't put it off. Okay, moving on to Cancer. So the full moon, let's cover the moons for you, Cancer, particularly because you're ruled by the moon, right? So if the full moon is in your area of home, your business, your career, and things can change. So there can be developments here. And, you know, once you do have developments that come up, then you want to make a decision. Is this what I want? You know, the moon is quite impulsive because, you know, as you know, it's changeable. So take a step back, take 6 deep breaths and think about it. Give yourself the time to think things through. Don't let anyone else sort of press you and push you either. All right, friends and money, be mindful of that. Like, it's not always a good mix. If you are doing something with friends and money, make sure that it's documented. Make sure that you both know who's accountable for what and how it's going to sort of come together. All right, and lots of discussion there. Mercury is coming Mercury is in retrograde, Venus is coming out of retrograde. So there's, you know, a good vibratory energy with money. But you just want to be a little bit mindful there. You know, we all love to do business on a handshake, and it's a good thing to do, maybe, until it's not, right? All right, so I hope you have a great month. There's lots of great things happening. The new moon is in your area of communication, creativity, education, a good time to, you know, learn something new, take on something new. Always a good time just to, you know, think through, to keep your mind active. Personally, I do like jigsaw puzzles and cards at night, you know, just to sort of just keeps your mind active. All right, so moving on, let's have a look at Leo. So Leo, Venus in your sign, finally coming out of retrograde. You know, this is a really exciting time for you. All right, but if you've got things that are like just like simmering, or they haven't quite come together yet at work, then you want to just tread carefully on it. Like, there's opportunities, but you know, don't take them for granted. I mean, find out all the details, read the fine print. Sometimes opportunities can look good on paper or when you first hear about them, but you want to get down because you're great negotiators. So be prepared to, you know, be prepared to make it how you want it, and you know, do some negotiating there. This is a great time for money for you. You know, Mercury still is retrograde, so things can come through from the past that are going to help you. But all in all, this is a great month where there's lots of financial opportunities that come through work and business. So this is good news. Okay, just stay focused, get a plan together, get things sort of organized, and go after what you want. This is the month to do it. Okay, so let's go on to Virgo. All right, so let's see what's going to happen. You've got the new moon in your sign, Virgo. So this is like a new start. Whenever there's a new moon, it's a trigger just to, you know, step out into your most powerful self, you know. So really, and that's part of what I do in my coaching work. I help people sort of step into the real them and be, you know, their most powerful, awesome self version of themselves. And this is what this new moon is about for you. Okay, it's also very much this whole month is very much about your spirituality, going inwards, learning more about who you are. If you've never had a chart, astrology or chart reading, they really are my specialty. I'm very good at it. I get sort of comments about, well, I've never had a session chart reading like that. That's amazing. I've got so many realizations. So this is, you know, be a great time to do that. Otherwise, you know, watch some videos. YouTube is amazing, isn't it? Like, there's so much stuff on YouTube that people just give away so much content for free, as I do. And, you know, because we want to share our knowledge, you know, people want to, it's just, I sincerely want to help others and share their knowledge. So whatever you do, whether it's you buy a book, join a course, get some coaching, get your chart read, whatever, make sure you do something this month that helps you to evolve on your inner spirituality. Okay, so let's move on to Libra. So Libra, Mars is in your sign. When Mars is in your sign, you know, I mean, it's good and a bad, you know, it's always two sides of the coin. It's great because it gets you motivated. Mars is the planet of motivation, gets you motivated, gets you working on things, gets you putting them into action. and you know, textbook Libra, you have that procrastination. I really don't think that's true. It's just like you like to sort of weigh up all the pros and cons and make informed decisions, but occasionally you can get into a bit of procrastination. So the Mars, like, you know, wipes that out. Okay, so that's the good. The bad, if you're not organized, Mars can just have you spinning your wheels, you know, just going around and around, busy, 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 not achieving anything. We've all done that, right? Especially us cardinal signs. So you want to get organized. So this is your biggest message this, you know, month. Get organized. It's also a very good monetary month, and it's also a very good month just to tune into your instincts. Like, you know, when something is given to you, or something sort of, you know, you've got an opportunity, you say, okay, oh, this looks really good. What does it feel like? Does it feel really good? The more that you can tune into your intuition during this time, anytime, but you have an opportunity with the new moon in this position of your chart, then, you know, the more that you can develop that side of you and use it to your advantage, particularly decision making. And the full moon is right opposite in your relationship zone. So okay, the full moon is like a trigger point. It's that axis, the sun in your sign, the moon opposite. It can bring things to a head, so get ready for that too. And other than that, it can just make things intense and you know, hot and sensual as well. So that's all good too, right? All right, so Scorpio, Jupiter in your opposite sign, been here for a while, in your relationship area, and it's going retrograde right at the start of the month. So this can bring up things from the past, or people or situations that perhaps you haven't dealt with. You get an opportunity now not only to deal with it, but to get closure with it. And once that you notice it and deal with it and close it, then you don't have to keep having those lessons. It's like, right, that's done. Well, that then clears the space for a different vibratory energy to come into your life. Okay, so that's like the great news there. The full moon is in your area of health and well-being and productivity. So this is a message to look after yourself. All right, if you've been thinking about doing a new health regime, then this is certainly a time to do that. Venus comes out of its retrograde in your work, business, your career. So this is good too. It's looking very good for money. Like things that you work on during this time can, you know, bring in monetary gain. And socially, Mercury is still retrograde, and there's a new moon in this area as well. So it's like you can repair. If there's something going on with somebody, a friend, then this gives you a chance to sort of repair that too. So all good, right? All right, so Sagittarius. So a lot going on in your area of just getting organized, Sagittarius. And because you like to have the freedom and your free spirit, getting organized is not always on top of your list. But right now, the more organized you can be, the more that you can get accomplished. And it's just get some rituals down, do some planning before you go to bed at night. Think, okay, what am I doing tomorrow? What are my 3 top priorities? If you can get yourself an accountability manager where you work on your 3 top priorities, then that would be a really good thing to do as well. You know, you meet once a week, or you can text daily. I've had accountability partners where, you know, we meet weekly on Zoom, and then daily, Monday to Friday, we text back and forward. What are our 3 top priorities we want to achieve today? And accountability works. Okay. So I would suggest to do that. There's can be a change with your love life at the moment. If you're looking for love, then, you know, it can just come out of the blue. You know, if you're not looking for love, then this is an opportunity for you to deal with some, do some love maintenance, relationship maintenance. But there's a lot going on and great things going on around your career and your business. There's like literally a new start here. Once again, get organized, okay? So, and also on your social, things are exciting socially as well. So all I know is it's coming out to be a great month. Okay, so Capricorn, the full moon is in around your home and family area. So there can be some, changes here or developments. And some of those developments can purely be the way you think about things, or you can make it. So this is a trigger point. You can make a change that's going to be better for you, okay? The other things that are happening, I mean, your career zone, there's a lot going on for us Capricorns this month for sure. Mars is in our career zone plus the sun. Now, the thing about Mars is like it's great energy because, as a cardinal sign, you get that Mars energy. It's like, yeah, let's go. Let's get excited. Let's get motivated. Let's get things done, okay? Like there's one warning here. You want to get organized, not a problem for you, but be careful you don't take on too much, because when you try to do too much, that Mars energy can turn into frustration, okay, rather than productivity, because you're just trying to do everything. And guess what? You can do everything, just not right at once. So focus on one thing at a time, and then you get that sense of accomplishment, which is so, so very important for everyone, particularly us Capricorns, all right? Venus comes out of retrograde in one of our money zones. So this is good for winnings or just to attract any finances that you perhaps are outstanding from people can come through and surprise. Money can come from all sorts of areas. So you want to keep that open. Here's a little affirmation that I have up here. I am so happy and grateful now that I am discovering how to have a financial abundance mindset. So get yourself some affirmations, say them regularly all day, all right? Love, some things or someone or something or a development can happen from the past, okay? So once again, it can be a renew or it can be a closure. The new moon is in your area, in our area of spirituality. It's always a good time to practice some type of self-development work, okay? And this month it's really highlighted. All right, so it's heading up to be a great month for us. Let's hope so, right? Let me know how that goes. All right, so Aquarius. So Venus in your opposite sign, Aquarius, it's been here for a while. It's been retrograde, comes out of retrograde this week, okay, this month rather, right? Well, this week too, right early. Depending on when you're watching this, of course, on the 3rd. Let's put the date in, okay? So it comes out of retrograde. So things can really start to happen, and your love life and relationships on a whole start to sort of look up, and any complications or developments that have happened over the past month, it can start to sort of even out now. So that's very, very nice. Especially as the new moon is in your area of intimacy. Now, there is Mercury retrograde in here, this area as well. So, be mindful just to, watch what you say and how you say it. And that term, I already said it to another sign already, is sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it, okay? But one of the main things here is that you want to get to a point where you allow yourself to feel a little vulnerable, where you can express how you feel, all right? So that's like a big point. If you've got some travel going on, remember that Mercury is retrograde, so just check all the details, all right? Okay, so Pisces, let's see what's going on for you, Pisces. So right opposite in your love zone. So for September, I mean, we just did actually have a new moon full moon, a blue moon, a super moon, which is 2 full moons in the 1 month in your sign in late August. So that really sort of opened the door for amazing things to happen for you with relationships. And now there's a new moon in your opposite sign as well, which is your relationship area. So things can start to sort of heat up. Mercury is in this area too, and it's retrograde. So it may be that you're repairing a past love. Perhaps the one that got away is going to come back. All right. Who knows? It can happen, right? Or you could just be doing some relationship maintenance, or of course, you can meet someone new, all of the above. But love is very much fashioned in your chart for this month. Money matters. A full moon is highlighted in here, and so don't do anything rash. Beware of impulsive spending, and you know, if you're cashed up, then you know, certainly go out and treat yourself. But if you're not, then be careful of overdoing it in that area. Looking after yourself and learning more about your overall health and well-being and what works for you is important. And Venus comes out of its retrograde at the start of the month, and so in this area, so it's very, very good just for a makeover, an image makeover. So you know, sometimes like women, we're spiritual beings, right? But we're here in a physical life. So how we look and feel are important. And sometimes when we look better, or when we think we look better, and then we feel better, but it's more about the outer, it's the inner and the outer. So looking after your health, your well-being, and your beauty, like a whole sort of overall whole there in September, can make a huge difference to how you feel. Not only that, can make a huge difference to your attraction, your manifestation, attraction power. Okay. All right, so thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Have a great month. I look forward to seeing you through the month. Bye for now.